Hey there friends, thanks for checking in. You are looking at two Kahr PM9s. This one here is brand new. It's mine. I've owned it for about 3 weeks, have about 400 rounds through it. This one here is 8 years old. I borrowed it for the review. You can see that it has had some work done on it. But this gentleman who has pocket carried it for 8 years and kept a round count says that he has over 40,000 rounds through it. Actually over 43,000, closer to 45,000 before he stopped keeping count. But he's pocket carried it for years and says that this is the most reliable and easiest pocket carry gun that he can think of. And I would agree with that. I tell people all the time when they ask what is the best 9mm to pocket carry, I tell them the Kahr PM9 or the CM9. Now I know this gun well. I've owned it for years. Here's the CM9. This is a value series gun, very much a budget gun. You can pick it up for right around 300 bucks. And we can see that they are identical in size and weight. Now, the PM9, I chose the blackened slide. Most of them you see do have the stainless slide and tritium night sights. Blackened trigger there. Beautiful look to it. I really do like it. And the same 6.5 pound trigger pull. But people say, well, why pocket carry that? There are other choices. Well, the M&P Shield's a very popular choice. A lot of people own those. But let's take a look at the slide length. Look at the difference right there. That's what I'm talking about. Almost an inch difference, maybe a little less. And then we have less than an inch width on the slide there. And then the grip is shorter as well. Now the Kahr does carry 6 rounds, but it is extremely reliable, and evidence of that is this PM9. Now back 8 years ago, they squared off the top of the slide. We'll take a look. A little more than they do now. You can see this is beveled out. But ultimately, this is the same gun. But this guy did some work to it. Now let's talk about that real quick. He had the grip stippled by Terran Tactical. Cylinder and slide ported the slide. And the barrel was ported by Magnaport. I do not think that has to do with the longevity of the gun. I think the mechanics of the gun and the craftsmanship is what has to do with the reliability. Now, I have taken this to the range on 3 occasions. Brand new PM9 now. And it has performed very well for me. I currently carry a Kahr P9, but this PM9 is a great choice. Whether for a primary carry or backup, it is just so small, lightweight, and compact. Let's get it on the scale right now. We'll take a look at the weight. This is the unloaded weight, and here we have 1 pound 1 ounce. That will equal 17 ounces. There we go, 17 ounces even. Every round's a half an ounce that you put in there. You add 7 rounds, you guys can do the math. But it is so small and compact and lightweight that I just think they're outstanding guns to carry. And that heavy spring really cuts down on the recoil. Hardly any muzzle flip, if any. I don't think so. But the thing I wanted to know was, what are the differences? Now, when I borrowed this, I wanted to know what are the differences. Take away all the additional work that was done. Does it offer a different trigger pull after 43,000 rounds or 45,000 rounds? Nope, it certainly doesn't feel that way. I measured them the exact same, and then the pull right here feels the exact same. Well, what about at the range? I mean, let's live fire them side by side and see if there are any differences that are noticeable. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Be right back, and we'll take a look at the internals. Let's start with my brand new Kahr PM9. All right, and here we have a Kahr PM9 that is 8 years old. It has over 40,000 rounds through it. And they feel identical. both guns disassembled. Here's the older one. One of the things I want to address right away is, and I've heard many people, they've asked me this, I've heard this, people say, well, over time, the frame rails that are polymer here will wear down and that gun will be rendered useless. Well, this one has over 40,000 rounds through it, and you can see that the frame rails are like new. And then here's the brand new one. All right, check out those. Now, we have to understand that Kahr uses a lot of metal in their frames. You can see there's metal in the fore end, back here, metal inserts throughout the frame. And the reason that these are polymer is so that the gun is easier to reassemble. It does not need those rails for the gun to function. There's enough on here, there's enough metal on metal so that the slide can work its action without any issues. So when I get that question from now on, I'm just going to refer people to this video. I've heard that a lot. It's not true. I say, well, you know, this is going to wear down. Well, that's 40,000 rounds, 8 years old, and it looks brand new. It really does. Now here we have the slides. The only thing I noticed, I did notice one thing. We'll take a look at the slides. Look pretty identical there. And then the barrels, they look the same, other than the porting on this one. All right, you can switch those out. Nobody would know the difference. The only difference that I noticed is the recoil spring. See, the one on the left is a little bit shorter. Okay, that could be a little compression there over time. It made that a little shorter. Didn't seem to make a difference at the range. Seemed fine with me. So let me get these back together and we'll wrap it up. So there it is, just a quick comparison to show the longevity of Kahr Arms. Great thanks to the gentleman who let me borrow his PM9, and I'm going to get this back to you so you can begin pocket carrying it again. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and share. I always appreciate the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and you guys be safe.